Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ValueSetters First Quarter Fiscal 2021 Earnings Conference Call and Merger with Net Capital. At this time, all participants have been placed in a listen-only mode, and the floor will be open for your questions and comments following the presentation. It is now my pleasure to turn the floor over to your host, Callie Gauser. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Catherine. Hello, and welcome to ValueSetters First Quarter Fiscal 2021 Conference Call. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. This is Callie Gauser, Director of Investor Relations at ValueSetters, and with me today are Cecilia Link, CEO of ValueSetters, Corrine Chrysler, CFO of ValueSetters, and Jason Frischman, CEO of Net Capital. In today's presentation, we'll review ValueSetters' first quarter fiscal 2021 results, as well as discuss our previously announced transformational merger with Net Capital. A copy of the slide deck we'll be using today is available on the investor section of our website at valuesetters.com/investors. A recording of this call will be made available on our website shortly after its conclusion. Please be sure to note the safe harbor disclaimer regarding forward-looking statements on page 2 of the presentation. After today's remarks, the operator will open up the line for questions. And now, I will hand the call over to Corrine Chrysler, Chief Financial Officer of ValueSetters.
Thank you, Callie. Hello, everyone. We are so pleased you could join us today for a discussion of ValueSetters' strong first quarter results and our previously announced merger with longtime partner Net Capital, a truly milestone event. Demand for strategic advice and funding by startups and small and medium-sized businesses remained robust during our first fiscal quarter. Through the end of July, net investment commitments across over 50 online funding portals were up 70% year-to-date relative to last year, and up 156% during our fiscal first quarter, according to ValueSetters' portfolio company, KingsCrowd. We continue to believe that the impact of the pandemic on businesses and remote work will accelerate the shift to online fundraising. Recent actions by government regulators also support this trend. Last May, the SEC proposed significant enhancements to the private market exempt offering framework with the goal of simplifying these options and increasing access to capital. We'll discuss this topic in further detail later in our presentation. ValueSetters is deeply committed to serving all of its stakeholders, and we're grateful for the opportunity to help startups, small businesses, and their local economies at a time when it's needed most. As managers and shareholders, we're pleased with the strong results ValueSetters has delivered in the first quarter of fiscal 2021. For the 3 months ended July 31, 2020, revenues of $1.8 million represent an increase of over 1,000% relative to the same period last year. Operating income rose 80% year over year to over $52,000. We produced a gross margin of 76% and grew shareholders' equity to $711,433 from $679,156 a year ago. In addition, the value of our investment portfolio increased by more than 349%. This was driven by investments in 2 new innovative startups, ShipBrain and WatchParty, as well as an increase in our equity stake in Zelgor and existing portfolio holdings. ShipBrain is an AI company that has built a platform that leverages machine learning to assess the changing emotional state of the customer and provide real-time coaching to sales professionals during customer calls. Over time, ShipBrain's adaptive intelligence assistant can deliver recommendations tailored to the specific client, company, and representative. Effective communicators close more deals, and ShipBrain is helping sales professionals meet and exceed their quotas. The company was co-founded by CEO Lisa Vo, a graduate of Harvard University and accomplished computer scientist and software engineer, and CTO Curtis Northcutt, a graduate of MIT with a decade of AI experience. The company's leadership team also includes PhDs, researchers, and engineers from MIT and Harvard with years of experience in AI, software engineering, and computer science and UX. ChipBrain is presently engaged in a round of fundraising via Net Capital. Watch Party provides a fun and easy way for friends to connect and share their passion for TV. Developers have made significant progress towards completing the company's app. We've seen the latest test versions and they look terrific. Watch Party is engaged in a round of fundraising via Net Capital as well. Zelgor Games is building a galaxy of mobile games and a universe of interconnected content. Zelgor's strategic vision, use of cutting-edge technology, compelling noob characters, and $100 billion market opportunity have attracted renowned investors. These include Tim Draper, founder of one of the top VC firms, Draper Fisher Jurvetson, and Nolan Bushnell, the creator of Atari. Zelgor has several games in development. Noobs in Space and NoobTube are now on playtesters. Zelgor is also currently engaged in a round of fundraising via Net Capital. We're excited about what the future holds for ChipBrain, Watch Party, and Zelgor. To learn more about these innovative startups, as well as our other portfolio companies such as Deuce Drone and Kingscrowd, please visit the investor section of ValueSetters.com. Our social media accounts are another great way to keep up with ValueSetters and our clients' latest news. During the first quarter, ValueSetters executed well, delivering strong financial results and continued to grow the value of its portfolio. We're optimistic about the future and look forward to building on our positive momentum throughout the rest of fiscal 2021. I want to thank our talented team for their hard work and dedication. Thank you, everyone. Last month, ValueSetters was excited to announce an agreement to merge with its longtime partner, Net Capital. This transformational combination creates a powerful fintech leader with a full range of capabilities and truly differentiated position within the burgeoning private capital market. Combining ValueSetters and Net Capital affords numerous advantages to stakeholders. ValueSetters will benefit from leveraging Net Capital's established, rapidly growing, and scalable technology platform to scale its own services, particularly its digital marketing capabilities. Sales growth will increase significantly with the addition of Net Capital's revenue streams. For ValueSetters clients raising capital via Net Capital, the experience will be streamlined. Net Capital will now be able to seamlessly access ValueSetters' proven digital marketing expertise and strategic advisory services. Additionally, ValueSetters' team of former investment professionals provides Net Capital exceptionally strong deal sourcing and a deep network of potential investors. These advantages enhance the value proposition for Net Capital clients. Merging ValueSetters and Net Capital builds on our two companies' long history of collaboration, innovation, and shared values, formalizing a successful partnership. Net Capital has been a leader in democratizing private capital markets. The company built one of the first online private fundraising platforms, enabling entrepreneurs and investors to work together to create value. ValueSetters has a strong track record of providing strategic advice and digital marketing service that have facilitated Net Capital's most successful fundraising campaigns. Additionally, both ValueSetters and Net Capital are deeply committed to empowering entrepreneurs and democratizing private capital markets. Joining forces elevates our ability to help our valued clients and partners succeed, as well as accelerates the realization of our shared visions. And now, to tell you more about Net Capital's business, it's my pleasure to introduce you all to Jason Frischman, CEO of Net Capital. Jason's vision, leadership, and passion for democratizing private capital markets have fueled Net Capital's growth. We have all enjoyed working with Jason and his incredibly talented team these past 2 years. We're thrilled to be able to formalize our successful partnership. Jason, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Corrine. All of us at Net Capital have really enjoyed working with ValueSetters' talented team as well. ValueSetters' commitment to empowering entrepreneurs to succeed has been a great complement to our business. Over the years, Net Capital has leveraged ValueSetters' unique investor perspective, strategic advice, digital marketing experience, and deep network of investors to execute our clients' most successful fundraising campaigns. We are very excited about the opportunity to scale those capabilities using NetCapital's proven technology and fundraising platform. Our entire team is looking forward to combining our efforts and accelerating the growth of our mutual business. For most innovators, the most significant hurdle to starting and growing a company is financing. In the past, options for accessing capital have been limited to venture capital, banks, and other large institutions. This flawed and antiquated model presents obstacles that are insurmountable for most. Over 80% of small business failures are driven by a lack of funding. The average entrepreneur meets with 40 institutional investors before closing one, and the VC funding success rate for entrepreneurs averages just 2%. An entrepreneur who does manage to secure funding often must forego a potentially significant ownership stake as well as control of his or her company. Additionally, the vast majority of VC funding is deployed from general partners in Boston, New York, and San Francisco to predominantly white male entrepreneurs. The statistics clearly show that women and minorities and those from disadvantaged geographies are at a significant disadvantage in traditional fundraising routes. From an investor perspective, tremendous value is being created for institutional and accredited investors by investing pre-IPO and realized by larger institutional players and accredited investors. The average investor has been blocked from participating in one of the most lucrative asset classes. Less than 10% of U.S. households qualify as accredited investors. For the few accredited investors who can participate in private deals, lack of liquidity and high investment minimums are significant drawbacks, with funds tied up for 10 years or more, potentially until a sale of the company or an IPO. Achieving diversification can be challenging, and accredited investors face low returns on large sums of cash set aside for capital calls. NetCapital solves these problems. Our innovative model and technology platform democratize private markets by allowing anyone access to fundraising and investing in private companies. NetCapital's funding portal empowers both non-accredited and accredited investors to buy and sell shares of private companies with low minimum investment, sometimes as low as $50 to $100. Our proven technology platform makes the process as easy as trading public equity shares through a traditional online broker platform. Additionally, our differentiated platform facilitates both primary offerings and potential liquidity through a connected secondary transfer platform connected by NetCapital systems. Private companies can raise capital using an easy, efficient, digital, and standardized process. Anyone who believes in the company can invest, whether that be a professional investor, angel investor, friends, family, customers, supporters, fans, followers, whoever. Additionally, the platform and process level the playing field for women and minorities and enable entrepreneurs to maintain control of their companies. Only a few short years ago, the 2012 Jobs Act created the opportunity to democratize private capital markets using the internet and established a significant secular trend. In 2019, $2.7 trillion was raised across the exempt offering framework, compared to the $1.2 trillion raised via registered offerings. There was $800 billion in U.S. private placement deals and $66 billion under exemptions 506C and 4A6. Private capital markets already account for over 60% of the total dollars raised, and private offerings are growing at twice the rate of public offerings, according to Forbes. In fact, the number of IPOs today is less than half of what it was 20 years ago. Recent proposed regulatory changes may increase this already significant market opportunity. Last March, the Securities and Exchange Commission proposed meaningful changes to multiple securities exemptions. The revised regulations would increase the offering limits for Regulation Crowdfunding, Regulation A, and Rule 504 offerings, as well as limits for certain individual investments. Under these new proposals, Regulation Crowdfunding offering limits would increase to $5 million from the current $1.07 million every 12 months. Additionally, investment limits would be removed entirely for accredited investors under this exemption. This change would be significant as it reduces the need for side-by-side offerings for us and our clients. There are also favorable new proposed rules that would simplify Reg CF advertising guidelines. The SEC's actions, if passed, would increase the attractiveness of the exempt offering framework for entrepreneurs and investors. We believe this would enhance the value of funding portals and strengthen the online capital raising process in private equity. NetCapital has a strong, scalable business model and benefits from a number of competitive advantages. NetCapital was one of the first to establish an online platform for private capital markets in 2016, giving the company an early mover advantage. The NetCapital brand is well recognized and trusted, affording a large and rapidly growing investor base. The company's growth is accelerating. New investors have increased over tenfold over the past year, and dollars invested have doubled in the last 6 months. Another important differentiator, NetCapital is the only funding portal connected to a secondary transfer platform that provides potential liquidity from NetCapital systems. Volume transferred through this platform has quadrupled over the past 6 months. Additionally, NetCapital offerings have a 75% success rate for its clients versus the industry average of 60% and well above the funding success rate of 2% with venture firms. And now I'll hand the call back to Corrine to discuss some of the details of the transaction.
Thank you, Jason. ValueSetters leadership and team remain in place with Cecilia Link as CEO, myself as CFO, and Jason Frischman will remain CEO of NetCapital Systems. To better reflect our differentiated position as a powerful fintech leader in private capital markets, ValueSetters will change its name to NetCapital Inc. and undertake a rebranding initiative. We are in the process of applying for a ticker symbol change currently. ValueSetters' new name, NetCapital Inc., leverages NetCapital's strong brand and trusted technology platform, as well as both of our companies' shared commitment to democratizing private capital markets and empowering entrepreneurs to succeed. Those leveraging ValueSetters' advisory services, which will be renamed NetCapital Advisors, will receive the same best-in-class service, care, commitment, and attention to detail our partners are accustomed to. Those seeking to raise capital of ValueSetters and NetCapital will encounter a streamlined and seamless experience. As we announced on August 25th, ValueSetters will merge with NetCapital in an all-stock transaction. This transaction will be tax-free. The total consideration for NetCapital is approximately $20 million paid in shares of ValueSetters common stock. These shares will be subject to a lockup period of 1 year. Once the lockup period has expired, NetCapital may sell only 1% of shares outstanding every 90 days. That said, NetCapital plans to be a long-term shareholder, enabling us to build a successful business together. As a result of the merger, the proportion of cash revenues earned by the company will significantly increase. In addition to the sign-up fee charged by the listing fee charged by NetCapital, the 4.9% success fee charged by NetCapital on capital raises will allow our company and our shareholders to share proportionately in the success that we achieve for our clients. In conjunction with the merger agreement and prior to the closing date, ValueSetters shall complete a reverse stock split. At the effective time, every 2,000 issued and outstanding shares of ValueSetters common stock will be converted into 1 share of the company's common stock. Combining ValueSetters' unique and proven capabilities and NetCapital's scalable technology platform creates a powerful fintech leader that is well positioned for growth within the private capital market. Our combined company will offer a full range of services and solutions in a streamlined experience, enhancing the value proposition to clients and partners. Our history of successful collaboration has demonstrated the synergies that offer the potential for increased revenue generation. Additionally, our team of institutional investors, angel investors, and entrepreneurs afford the leadership required to execute on our shared vision. Democratization and proliferation of private capital markets is in its infancy. ValueSetters offers investors a unique opportunity to participate in a significant secular growth trend. Cecilia, I'm turning the mic over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Corrine, and thank you to Jason and Callie for their earlier remarks. We are very pleased with our first quarter performance. As always, I want to recognize our incredible team. Thank you to each one of you for your contributions. As always, we're successful when our clients are successful. We're grateful for the opportunity to partner with so many talented entrepreneurs dedicated to making an impact. Speaking of partners, we are extremely thrilled to formalize our partnership with NetCapital. We believe that private capital markets are in the early stages of a significant secular growth trend. An entire ecosystem is developing around private investing and online capital markets. Combining Net Capital and ValueSetters creates tremendous value and establishes a unique competitive position. It's also the culmination of an important phase of our shared vision. We're all excited about what we will be building together. And now we will open for questions. Operator?
Certainly. Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open for questions. If you have any questions or comments, please press star 1 on your phone now. We ask that while posing your question, you please pick up your handset if listening on speakerphone to provide optimum sound quality. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, please press star 1 on your phone now. Your first question is coming from Stella Franklin. Your line is live.
So I have a question for Jason. How many new issuers did you launch this quarter, and how many are in the pipeline to launch next quarter? Did you hear me?
Hi, Stella. This is Corinne Chrysler, CFO. I'm going to take that call. I'm going to take that question for Jason. So we haven't disclosed specific figures, but what we will tell you is that post-COVID, the demand for online fundraising has increased significantly, and that is certainly reflected in the strength of our pipeline.
Okay, thank you.
Your next question is coming from Jason Allen. Your line is live.
Good afternoon, and congratulations on the pending merger.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Quick question, and I'm just looking at the income statement from the prior quarter, and the increase in wage expenses quarter over quarter. Can you talk a little bit about that? Have you moved to cash compensation versus stock compensation, or what's driving that?
Yes. So, Jason, that is driven by a combination of factors. One, we did move to wage compensation. Previously, we had been paying our team virtually entirely in stock for the past 3 years. And we felt at this stage in our growth, it was appropriate to start paying people some money so that they could pay their bills. And also, we took this opportunity to serve as an incubator. We did start several companies ourselves this quarter and funded them, and that is reflected in the gross profit, the change in the gross profit margin this quarter, and also the fact that we did staff up in anticipation of this merger closing. So it's a combination of factors.
Okay, and as a follow-up, it looks like you guys took down some SBA loans, and you have the secured note that's been there. Can you speak a little bit about the capitalization of the combined company going forward as to how you're going to clean up the secured note or any plans like that?
We haven't made any disclosures about what the combined financials will look like. I mean, you can certainly assume that the book value will increase significantly because the shares that we issue to Net Capital in order to consummate the merger will significantly increase the equity base of the company. I would just point to one very important point about the combination that investors should really pay attention to is that it will significantly increase the proportion of cash revenues that we generate due to the listing fees and 4.9% success fees that Net Capital charges on their offerings. So you should expect to see the operating cash flow of the company to show improvement as a result.
Sorry, one more follow-up. Do you have any anticipated timing of the consummation of the transaction and when some sort of combined financials will be available?
Yes, the deal is expected to be consummated by the end of October. We're well along that path. And then in terms of combined financials, assuming that we are able to combine at the end of October, you should see combined financials reflected in our next quarter's earnings release.
Okay, thank you.
Which is currently underway, so our current quarter's earnings release.
As a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions or comments, please press star 1 on your phone now. Your next question is coming from David Lau. Your line is live.
Hi, congratulations on the quarter. So just a quick question about the net capital. I was wondering if you can talk about the competitive landscape of the fundraising, and then what is the net capital's competitive advantage? Is there any similar other, is there any other platforms doing similar thing?
Yes, I believe I understand your question. So Net Capital is one of over 50 online funding online funding portals. They currently, the most recent market share data I saw, they're currently rated as the 6th largest in terms of volume through the platform through 2020. So major players in the space include companies like Republic, Seed Invest, and Start Engine. Those are some of the top players in the space. So what Net Capital has, and it's a very significant competitive advantage, is through Net Capital systems, the company offers what they call a secondary transfer platform. And this allows shares that have been created on Net Capital to trade freely in a secondary market, or secondary type market that they call a secondary transfer platform. And this provides the potential for potential liquidities for people who buy shares on the Net Capital platform. So investors who buy shares on Net Capital aren't locked up until IPO or sale of the company like they would if they were normally investing in a private company. So that potential liquidity offered by the secondary transfer platform is a very significant competitive advantage. And I will tell you that in our experience dealing with our clients on the ValueSetter side, this is one of the things that very strongly attracts them to using the Net Capital platform.
Got it. This is very helpful. And then in this quarter, I saw you hired 2 new employees. I was wondering if you have any goals for them. Like one of them are the sales director, and the other one is an IR person. I was wondering why you have a new hire. What's your goals for them?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I'm so glad that you asked me that. That's really great. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering that. So Callie Gauser is our Director of Investor Relations, and she actually opened the call for us. She made the opening remarks. And, you know, we are on a path. Our plan is to uplist to NASDAQ. We've already met some of the milestones that we need to make in order to achieve that uplisting, one of which is that our operating income has been over $1 million, and we have over $4 million in assets. And so in order to uplist, we really need to have a very professional investor relations effort, someone who has the background dealing with institutional investors, as Callie does, in order to meet and speak with institutional investors as we get more and more interest from these institutions to invest in our stock. So she serves as a liaison between us and these investors and reaches out and tries to get more people interested in our stock from the institutional side. And I'm really pleased with what she's accomplished so far. We're already, since we've announced the merger, we're already hearing from major money management firms who have reached out to us for meetings. So this is a very exciting development in our company. And I believe the other person you're referring to is Jim Finnerty, who is our Director of Institutional Sales. Jim is a former investment banker, and his role is primarily to reach out to potential investors in his very large network to reach out to potential investors for our clients who are trying to raise money. And we're really excited about his team's efforts so far. So super excited about our hires. I'm really, really glad that you asked about them because I'm sure a lot of people were curious.
Okay, great. Just my last question. I was just wondering, you borrowed probably $2 million this quarter. I was just wondering why you need to borrow the money and your plan to pay back. How do you going to pay back? Just curious.
Sure. So the majority of the money, we are actually able to apply for forgiveness on the $1.8 million loan. That was an SBA loan that allows for forgiveness. So we're about to start that forgiveness process. It was a very unique opportunity to bring liquidity into the company. So we were very excited to have that opportunity. And then the second loan is for $500,000. That's more like a mortgage in its terms. It's a 30-year loan. And its payments are deferred for a year, and it has a very low interest rate. So we plan to repay that through operating cash flow of the company.
Okay, got it. All right, thanks.
Yep.
Your next question is coming from Jason Allen. Your line is live.
Hi, Jason.
Sorry, I got back in queue. I had one follow-up
okay.
related to a prior question.
That's exactly how we should do it. Thank you.
In hearing about Net Capital, and I was familiar with the company before, and given the fact that the industry is so fragmented, are you guys going to have some sort of roll-up strategy, or will M&A of some of these smaller players to kind of bring this market more condensed? Is that part of the future plan?
We don't have any specific plans to do a roll-up at this time. I think, a lot of options are on the table, and we haven't made any specific commitment to move one way or another. I will say that we do own a piece of another funding portal that's specifically biotech focused. So we'll have to see how, in the future, if we decide to marry those two platforms or not. But right now, we're very focused on combining the two companies and really leveraging up this scalable technology platform that Net Capital offers. I think the scalability of this is very, very exciting to us. We want to push as many dollars through that platform as we can. It's just a really exciting opportunity.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yep.
There are no further questions from the lines at this time.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We're really, really excited about where we're headed. We're very excited about the merger. Thank you, Jason, for your inaugural earnings call. We can't wait to have you on future calls. And we look forward to keeping in touch. So thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This does conclude today's conference call. You may disconnect your phone lines at this time and have a wonderful day. Thank you for your participation.